What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mir, aka Big Mir. Television. We back again with another video. We got animals that can't stop getting high. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, perfect video to watch when I get off work. Anyway, let's get back into this. Let's get back into this video, man. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what is going to happen, and let's see what animals love to get high in this video, from bad to horrible.
Let's get the easy ones out of the way and slowly work
I
our
see
way
cats
to
right here on the bottom already.
Number 10, cats. This one is more of a misconception rather than an animal actually abusing a substance. If you have a cat, then you more than likely tried giving them Nepeta, or better known as catnip. Now, this one is not really a drug like the others on the list and is actually an herb that is very closely related to mint. But it does contain a compound called nepetalactone, which can have a mild and temporary stimulant effect on some cats. And that's the thing with catnip. Some cats are affected by it and will go absolutely crazy for it, while others just remind you that you cannot buy their love and they still don't want anything to do with you.
What?
Catnip has many different effects on cats, but here are the most common ones. They will roll around in it. They will become very hyper after they ingest it, or they might just become very relaxed. Number 9, dolphins. This is another common one
Dolphins.
people have probably heard of. Everybody loves telling the story when they themselves are under the influence, so let's just get this one out of the way. Yes, it's true. Dolphins are the real menaces of the ocean and are despicable losers who love to get high. They do this by first surrounding a pufferfish and proceeding to take turns lightly biting on it. Not only will they nudge and bite the pufferfish, the pot of dolphins will take it a step further by launching him out of the water and playing catch with him, making sure that that pufferfish is completely traumatized for the rest of its existence. And as you can imagine, this causes the puffer to go into a full panic, triggering its defense mechanism, releasing a toxic poison called tetrodotoxin, which is one of the most deadly poisons in the world. To put it into perspective, one pufferfish has enough poison to kill 30 adult humans, or about 50.
And let me guess, this just gets the dolphins just high.
So even though it's deadly, dolphins have learned exactly how much of the poison they can tolerate without dying. They've actually been filmed.
Who was the first dolphin that came up with this theory? One of the dolphins had to die first before they was like, yo. He did too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, they had to, like, you know what I'm saying, make the message clear. Somebody had to be the first example. That's all I'm saying.
Around for 20 to 30 minutes at a time before letting it swim off. The effects that the poison has on the dolphins is pretty interesting. They seem to go into a euphoric state where they become very calm, being mesmerized and completely fascinated by their own
I could not believe this.
of the water. Number 8, birds. Okay, now we're getting to the ones that most people have not heard of, but have probably seen.
I sadly, in a kind of crazy way, can believe this.
Or building, and you sit there wondering, how is it possible that it had unlimited airspace
Yes.
to fly around it,
Yes.
and yet still managed to crash? Well, the truth is that it was probably flying under the influence. This usually happens after the first frost, which causes fruits and berries to ferment, producing ethanol, a type of alcohol. And of course, birds know this. They will then proceed to eat as much of the fermented fruit or berries as they can to get completely hammered. In certain parts of the
No
world,
way.
alcoholism is on the rise. Just look at Yukon, Canada, where they have built a sanctuary for birds that have had too much of the booze, which is basically a drunk tank for birds. Here, they are placed in tiny cages until they sober up, but as soon as they do, they are released back into the wild, where they can continue boozing. So next time you see a bird
He
that is
said
flying
boozing.
straight, just remember, he's probably a degenerate, good-for-nothing alcoholic. Number 7, honeybees. This one is similar to number 8, as most people probably won't know this one, but once you hear about it, you'll realize that you've come across it at one point in your life. Now, this one is a little more violent and doesn't have the ending that you would find at a massage parlor. Have you ever come across a
Oh
honeybee?
nah, bruh, hairline is
I used to think that this was because the bee had recently
Yo.
a horrible and painfully slow death. But now as an adult, I am way more informed. Now, when I come across a crawling bee, I now know that it's either completely blacked out drunk or dying a horrible and painfully slow death.
Oh my lord.
You see, when the
How do you
nectar
decipher?
ferments,
That's like such a
nectar can
50-50.
become fermented, and you guessed it, it becomes alcohol. So when bees go to collect pollen from the plant and drink some of that sweet fermented nectar, they get completely drunk. And this is when you might find a bee that has lost all control of its sense of direction and motor skills. Now the sad part is, if by some miracle the bee manages to return back to its hive, it will have to go through the guard bees. Think of these guys as the bouncers of the hive, but a lot more violent, aggressive, and heartless. If a drunk bee shows up to the hive, one of two things will happen. He will either get a lifetime ban from the hive,
Oh no.
or get his arms torn off, wings torn off, legs torn off, antennas torn off, and eyes torn out, and die a horrible and painfully slow death.
Yo!
But don't worry, it's all done for the sake of the colony, since fermented nectar in the hive can cause the entire colony to collapse. Number 6.
Yo, at that point, just let him go, bro.
University have found that male fruit flies don't handle rejection very well. The research shows that when male fruit flies are rejected by a potential partner, they actually seek out alcohol.
Oh, okay,
Who
okay.
would have thought that I had so much in common with the fly? Number 5. Vervet monkeys.
That's
This
not
last
good,
animal
sir.
on the list that belongs in an A
Not
category.
good, sir.
And the reason why they rank so high on the list is simply because they're not just alcoholics, but they are outright disgusting criminals. When these monkeys can't get their fix from fermented fruit, they turn to a life of crime, stealing alcohol from tourists. And they're damn good at it. They patiently wait in the shadows for the perfect opportunity, and the moment a person sets their drink down will be their first mistake. Because as soon as you look away, it's already too late. The monkey will have its greasy little hands on it and already slurping the alcohol down. They do have some of the coolest pictures.
Oh
so
no. I could definitely see this though.
These monkeys are such a problem that the Caribbean island of Saint Martin has recently passed a bill that would allow them to exterminate all the monkeys.
Oh.
Apparently all 450 of them. You know, as soon as I said that last part, I realized that I probably could have left that part out. Number 4.
Yeah, that is wild though.
Now we're moving on from pufferfish and alcohol and moving on to the hard stuff.
Oh,
To
okay.
be fair, pufferfish is pretty insane, but a lot of people already knew that one, so I put that at the top of the list. But let's move on, starting off with the black lemur. Who would have thought that these cute animals from the island of Madagascar would turn out to be such despicable and heinous creatures?
Oh yeah. Why did you? That was so unnecessary, sir.
But on occasion, it does love to consume a toxic combination of chemicals, which include cyanide. It's able to consume this when it finds a millipede and begins to lightly chew on it. This causes the millipede to curl up and release a toxic chemical that is meant to deter animals from eating it. But to the lemur, this chemical just signals to the boys that they're in for a wild night.
Oh nah.
On the list, there's actually one health benefit for getting their hands on this dangerous toxin. And after just one hit from the millipede, the lemur begins to drool uncontrollably. They then begin
I
to
have-
saliva and toxins all over their body to protect themselves from mosquitoes, which
Bro.
carry malaria. But don't
Bro,
think
I
about
have seen lemur pictures where they've been drooling from the mouth like that. I never knew they were high.
toxin until they are completely obliterated. It reaches the point that they are so high that the only option left is to sleep it off. Number 3.
That's a very dangerous high, sir.
As I'm sure you've heard, its real name is
Gotta slow it down.
muscaria, and it's insanely toxic and brings on some very intense hallucinations. But this doesn't seem to matter to the reindeer of Siberia, Russia, which actually go to great lengths to seek it out and consume it. Once it's ingested and the effects kick in, they begin to act in a very strange way. They end up running around aimlessly and begin making strange noises. But the reason the reindeer is so high on the list is simply because they are a bad influence on others. Apparently, humans watch them eat the magic
Again,
mushrooms,
bro,
and
hairline
it's
is
so fun
crazy.
that we just had to try it for ourselves. Some people got
What?
incredibly high and began to have some of the most intense and vivid hallucinations, while others died.
Whoa.
Instead of saying, you know what, we took a nail on this one, boys, and we should probably avoid these mushrooms from here on out, no. Someone had the brilliant idea of consuming the urine of the reindeer instead.
What?
Since he believed that the urine would sterilize the toxins but keep the effects of the mushrooms intact. And he was right. And after that, humans and reindeers could go on wild hallucinogenic trips together. Some people even believe that this is how the story of Santa Claus was created. This theory is called the magic mushroom Christmas theory.
Wow.
Number 2, Jaguars. I guess even in apex
This is just getting wilder and wilder.
Keeping other animals apart. They do this by seeking out the yage vine, which is one of the major ingredients when creating ayahuasca, arguably the strongest hallucination drug on earth. And once the cat consumes it and the effects kick in, they begin to turn into a big, goofy, intoxicated kitten. A clip from BBC caught this all on tape a few years ago, and it's pretty interesting to watch. The native people of the Amazon claim that the jaguars consume this drug since it heightens their senses, improving their ability to hunt. But they're in denial. The cat simply does it to discover things about the universe that he would otherwise not know. Like how Willy Wonka was a serial killer similar to Jigsaw, but instead of doing his experiments on adults, he would do them on children, and nobody ever batted an eye.
See, I heard about that theory. This is just a sidebar real quick. I did hear about that theory. What do y'all think about that? Because I'm not too sure. The Willy Wonka movie never really seemed too like wild predatory like to me. But I don't know. Maybe other people maybe people have like a backstory. Maybe there was a book that people have read. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. Let me know what y'all think.
Parrots.
Now, parrots gotta be number one. I do agree. I don't even know. I can tell.
These birds are so addicted to opium that the farmers have reported taking massive losses in revenue due to these birds alone. These farmers, who have special permission to grow the plant for medicinal companies, have tried everything under the sun to stop these birds from eating their plants. And it's not uncommon to see a parrot fly away with an entire opium pod to himself. Apparently, a single parrot will come down and take a bite of the opium milk 30 to 40 times a day. And the sad part is, since opium is a hard drug with very real consequences to health, the moment the parrots become addicted to it, they are as good as dead. Because as soon as the farmers harvest the plant, the birds are left with such horrible withdrawals that it ends up costing them their lives. And parrots falling from trees and electrical lines becomes a common occurrence. But it doesn't stop there. In the following year, once the farmers plant the next batch of opium, the vicious cycle starts all over again, like a never-ending nightmare.
Wow. Man, look, I gotta say, man, this was a cool video. Animals that love being high. Man, look, if y'all like the video, man, make sure y'all like the video, man. And I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Peace.